Okay, hey everybody, it's me, Ashley Brooke. I wanted to do this video because I'm about to go to the doctor's appointment right now too. But I felt it was really important to do this, so yeah, don't judge my cheeks like a little swollen. I have a little toothache, so I'm going to go force myself to go to the dentist. I hate going to dentists. I hate doctors, but I have two kids that depend on me, so I can't avoid it. I'm about to call Regional Center too to they're supposed to set me up with an aide to make sure that I don't miss appointments and stuff because I have executive challenges. But they haven't set me up with my care provider yet, so I'm gonna have to do this myself. So I'm really fighting my brain right now, like making myself go to this appointment. But that's okay. Even though my little cheek looks like a little squirrel, like a little chickmunk. I mean, I just felt it was necessary for me to come on here because it's more important that, who cares what my face looks like? It's more important that I help this woman. There's a woman on Facebook, and I read her post. She's deeply concerned about her daughter. Morris, this is for you. So, as most of you guys know, I'm autistic, and I didn't talk till I was 7, and I stopped talking from ages 10 to 11. And I always share that with you guys, but I don't tell you the details of like how it was on the daily, what my parents experienced, like the scenarios that took place. So I'm going to describe a little bit what it felt like during some days, and because I want this mother to know that it will get better. She just needs to respond the right way, and I'm gonna tell you the right way. I'm gonna tell you, well, first I'm gonna tell you what it felt like. Okay. So growing up, like, I'm nice. I'm a very, very nice person. Today I was back then too as a child. I've always been a very, very nice person. I just have touch stimulation issues. And these touch stimulation issues make me kind of feel like almost like I can't breathe. Like I get very agitated, very, like it almost feels like anxiety. And I have touch stimulation issues, and I have the combination of touch stimulation issues and sound stimulation issues. My sound stimulation issues are so bad that I have mild seizures, uncontrollable, which means seizure medication does not work for me. It's associated with autism. Repetitive sound stimulation causes me to have seizures. And I have issues being like touch stimulation, which is why I've been avoiding the dentist. So, and I'm an adult now, so imagine what your daughter's going through. It's intense. When I was younger, my family didn't acknowledge my autism, and I want to kind of humanize them just because autism wasn't really a thing back then, and there was a lot of scary information back then that when people were misinformed and people were, not diagnosed correctly, and they were treated, with like shock therapy and like mental hospital type of stuff. So I understand why my mom was probably afraid and didn't know how to deal with it. So also she had her own trauma and issues going on in her life. So let's humanize Mama Mouse. So growing up, my family would try to tell me things, and they were going too fast because I have auditory processing delay disorder. So it took me a while to get with the program, and I was kind of like quiet and more like slower. Whenever I would try to to push myself out to reach everybody's expectations, it caused an anxiety kind of feeling. Like I became very hyperactive, and I became very jumpy, and I went from super like calm to hyperactive. But what people didn't realize is that I may have been overcoming some milestones, but it was making me super hyperactive. Like I was like go mode. Like I felt like I was at war. Like in my body and my brain, I was just like like scared and trying to make sure that, like, have you ever played like when you have to guess the answer and you have to hit the buzzer? That's what it felt constantly. Like I was trying to like hit the buzzer, like in a panic. I, because me trying to overcome, my challenges, and it causing me this anxiety when people would touch me or try to help me, try to direct me or come on, or even just to hug me or hold me or even just touch my hand, fix my hair, anything. I would get, like, don't touch me. And I would start freaking out. My mom would be like, what's wrong with you? And she'd try to like stop me from like hurting myself. And I remember she'd pick me up. Now I know what was happening because I go through it with my daughter. If I didn't have a daughter with the same issues today, I probably wouldn't understand what was happening. Or that I was doing it to that extent when I was a child. I see when you're a child, you don't really realize how self-harming you can be, and you're just going to remember the part of mom not, always grabbing me. So for many years, I just thought, my mom was always trying to grab me too much. She was too handsy, like she should have just like not touched me. But now when I see my daughter throwing her body back and almost cracking her skull, I get why my mom was trying to like, lift me up and pull me. And then it probably caused a frustration because she didn't know how to deal with it. And so I felt like you're not understanding. As soon as they kept trying to touch me and I couldn't handle that much touch stimulation, the communication, there was already a wall. There's a barrier. It's like, you're not understanding. I can't handle this. In my, that I didn't say that as a kid, but this is a older version of me. If I can just chime in when I was a child and be like, that's what I would advocate for myself to my mother. I'd be like, you don't understand, like I can't handle this much touching. I can't, slow down, calm down. That's what it feels like for an autistic person that's having these issues, and the combination of them both. It can kind of feel very like you're gonna like get dizzy, even like it's very like I can't process even a thought, and that makes me panic more, that I can't. And then the pressure of not following through with the expectation becomes even stronger, and it becomes just like a full on. And a child, if they feel that the parent's never going to understand, I know that I went through this. I'm not going to tell you every child with autism, but this is what I went through in my experience. And my parent when I felt that they didn't understand, I would get hurt and angry because I didn't understand how to feel those emotions. Like I was sad and I was hurt and I was frustrated with myself. And I was frustrated at the fact that nobody understood me. And because I was nonverbal, when all this was happening, it made me shut down even more. So I would stop talking. I would go on like little like episodes of not talking. I don't want to call it episodes, but it was like little phases of not talking. And I couldn't. And I would have all the thoughts, like I understood everything fully, but I just couldn't. And it made me feel like not good. And I was always angry, and my mom would even lock me in the room all the time. She'd just throw me in the room, pick me up by my arm, and throw me in because I was wiggling like a little worm. Throw me in the room, and she'd be like, "Let me know when Ashley's ready to come out." And that made me feel like hurt more. I was like, "I'm not crazy. Like, what the hell?" Like, it was very frustrating. I imagine for both parties, and it made me angry a lot. And then it took me a while. My mom would call me and tell me that because I was a super nice kid. I would go from that to she describes it as fully like really aggressive. Because when they start trying to pull me up, I would hit back. I would be like, let go of me. I would swing my arms and I would kick my legs like to get them off of me because I was panicking. You ever imagine like someone tickling you and you can't, and you're just like, ah. It's like that, but like it's more of a panic, so it's real. So like we actually like physically fighting you off of us. And because we can't help it. It's just the way our brains are wired. It's just the way that we process stimulation. So, if I can give you any suggestion, that time's about to end. I'm getting anxiety talking about people touching me. Give her a minute, and it's okay that she's gonna come out of it in about an hour or two. Just let her take as long as she needs. Like, I don't know what my mom was doing was right. It probably was kind of abusive because she didn't understand. So it's humanized, but give her a minute. At least my mom didn't put her hands on me, but she did vent out loud. Don't vent. Don't complain about her in front of her. That's what's going to cause her to feel more like she's not part of, and she's